Is Starship Flight 8 coming before the end of the month? Firefly's Ghost mission getting closer to the moon, pieces of Blue Origin's autographed New Glenn fairing are washing up in the Bahamas, also RocketLab is gearing up for another launch and a big update from Stoke Space. My name is Felix, welcome to What About It, let's dive right in. Starship updates. So here's the big one up front, you're welcome. Are we really just days away from a Starship Flight 8 launch? During the reveal of xAI's Grok 3 earlier in the week, the team was going through a live demo and asking the AI about Starship Flight 8 details. What it responded with was an eye-opener. The result read no earlier than February 24th, which is much earlier than we've all been anticipating, and to ratchet up the excitement even more, it was hinted that it might even be sooner.
It might be sooner.
Flight 8 is close, but is it that close? Well, I've got good news for you. Grok might not have been too far off. An FAA advisory was posted on February 20th, stating a launch date that's probably way closer than what anyone would have thought even the day before. Here we go. According to this advisory, we're looking at February 26th as the no earlier than date for Starship Flight 8. Let that sink in. SpaceX is tracking Wednesday of next week. This is not a joke. The launch is supposed to occur between 5:30 p.m. and 7:09 p.m. Starbase time, which translates to 11:30 to 1:09 in the morning Zulu or GMT. SpaceX has backup days lined up all the way to March 6th, which could be an indicator that this day might still slip a bit. It's a lot of backup days. But this is a very solid indicator for a launch date and a lot to look forward to for next week. Get the hype train started, we are having another Starship launch, chance number 2 for block number 2 Starships to prove to the world that this upgrade works. Here's the next big news. This episode is fun. SpaceX is continuing to aim for the first Martian Starship mission to fly during the November 2026 launch window and said that they will be including Optimus robots and the aforementioned Grok AI as passengers. We've entertained the idea of Optimus helping to build out early Mars infrastructure for a while now. We know they are already working in Tesla factories here on Earth. Seeing humanoid robots and AI transition to Mars faster than actual humans is a logical step. They are more resilient in almost every way. They don't need sleep and don't need company or food except for a charging brick. The biggest question is if Optimus will be far enough in development until then to do more than just folding t-shirts, and if Grok will become better at predicting launch dates until then. Otherwise, it might miss the launch or arrive early. What do you think? Is a Starship Mars launch in November of next year realistic? Let me know in the comments. There is no shortage of major developments to talk about. Speaking of Flight 8, we got a peek at the simulator Starlink satellites that were recently delivered to the production site at Starbase. These will be loaded into Ship 34, where SpaceX will once again try to deploy them using the ship's PEZ dispenser during Flight 8. This is a crucial step for SpaceX on the way to a more profitable Starship vehicle. Pad B is edging closer to full operational status and new Starships are lining up to make their mark in the history books. But what will set them apart? Where is the progress? Well, we spotted what could be the first candidate for a Starship catch attempt, something we've been waiting for since the start of the Mechazilla concept. Take a look at this. It's the nose cone of what will soon become Ship 36 and it has exactly what we've been waiting for. These are small but critical attachment points that will allow Mechazilla's chopsticks to catch this Starship in mid-air for the first time ever. But why is this maneuver so special? We've already seen 2 successful booster catches, and while it still feels like magic, you'd think catching a Starship should be the next logical step, right? Not even close. In fact, catching the booster was the easy part. Here's why. The booster never leaves Earth's atmosphere. After stage separation, it flips and heads straight back to the launch site. It's still an incredibly complex operation, but Starship's journey is an entirely different story. While the booster is decelerating, Starship is just getting started, and for a good reason. It has to reach orbital velocity, meaning it will be traveling at more than 27,000 kilometers per hour before it can even think about coming back down. And when it does return, it's quite literally coming in super hot. Re-entering Earth's atmosphere puts Starship under extreme pressure, generating scorching plasma as it slams through the upper layers of air. Surviving this trial by fire is just the first step though. Once it makes it through re-entry, a Starship needs to navigate back to the launch site, flip into a vertical position, kill off all of its remaining speed, and hover between Mechazilla's chopsticks for a precise mid-air capture. The booster doesn't even do a flip. If you missed last week's Evergreen episode, now's a great time to catch up. We took a deep dive into SpaceX's history and into why SpaceX abandoned landing legs for Starship. Now we're seeing the payoff of that decision. SpaceX could skip a number again, or even retrofit Starship 35 for a catch attempt on Flight 9 instead, but that might be optimistic thinking. Right now, trying to predict exactly which test milestones will happen on which flights is about as useful as staring into a crystal ball. But if we piece together the clues, we can make some educated guesses. With Pad B progressing at record speed, there is a strong possibility that Flight 10 will be the first to attempt a Starship catch using the brand new Tower B. And speaking of that, Pad B has moved its chopsticks for the first time ever. It's alive. As we've seen its new, shorter chopsticks attached to the carriage and actuators installed, we've now seen them moving for the first time. Soon we'll see the return of SpaceX's famous weights for load testing. Cut the jokes, these look totally normal. Once all these systems are confirmed to be functional, Tower B will be ready for action. And the best part? Flight 10 is somewhat realistic for this. After all, Pad B doesn't even need to wait for the new OLM to be completed because it can already perform a catch maneuver without it. Pad A is quickly becoming obsolete as Pad B's advanced infrastructure takes shape. With its new flame trench and upgrades, Pad B clearly is the future of Starship launches. Given SpaceX's approach, scrapping Pad A and building something better may be more efficient. It might even be the next evolution in pad design after Pad B is finished. Another thing about Pad B's tower that we are seeing is that it will apparently have a ton more cladding than Pad A's tower. What could this mean? Pad A, as even seen, has cladding here and there, but the entire tower is not covered. The first Mechazilla only has cladding exactly where it's needed, where the booster flames actually hit the tower during a catch. Of course, this is SpaceX we're talking about, and unpredictability is part of the game. We already know how quickly a booster can be lifted into a transport stand and cleared from the landing zone. If SpaceX wants to move fast, this might be the most efficient way forward. One thing is for sure, excitement is guaranteed. Did I tell you about my last trip? Traveling should be an adventure. Staying online should never. Whether you're exploring Istanbul or catching up on work from 30,000 feet, we're using Saily, the sponsor of this video. Saily is an eSIM, which makes staying connected abroad incredibly easy. No fumbling around to insert a physical chip into your phone while missing the right tool to do so. Simply activate a network plan with the completely digital eSIM. Here's how it works. Open the app, pick the country, like Turkey for our trip, and select a data plan that works for you. There are flexible data plans that work for your budget, and the plan will activate automatically the moment you reach your destination. Don't forget to use our code WHATABOUTIT for an exclusive 15% discount on your plan. Whether you're sharing stunning views from the Bosporus or checking in with work, Saily keeps you connected. No roaming fees, hassle-free, and full access to everything you need. Ready to make your next trip stress-free? Your travels deserve a better connection. Download the Saily app or visit saily.com/whataboutit. Remember to use code WHATABOUTIT at checkout and enjoy 15% off your data plan. Thanks to Saily, we're able to explore, share, and keep creating awesome content for you, all while staying connected. Try it for yourself on your next adventure. Let's take a step back and talk about something even bigger, the future of Starbase itself. Rumors of SpaceX transforming the area into an actual town have been floating around for weeks, but we're now seeing real movement toward making it a reality. I can already imagine a future documentary intro, once upon a time in a town called Starbase. That's got a nice ring to it, right? It's not just speculation anymore. A recently released document from Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino Jr. has finally given us real answers to some of the biggest questions. First, can Cameron County decide whether Starbase becomes a town? Nope. Once all the legal requirements are met, it will be up to the residents to vote on incorporation. And that vote, it could happen much sooner than expected. Trevino confirmed that if all conditions are met, an election for Starbase city officials could take place during the May general election just 3 months from now. In fact, any registered voter who meets the candidacy requirements can file an application by March 3rd, 2025. That's less than 3 weeks away. Mayor of Starbase. That sounds even better.
Mayor! Now that's a good idea!
The biggest question of all, how much autonomy would Starbase really have? Texas law still gives Cameron County control over beach closures for public safety, meaning SpaceX wouldn't have unlimited power over road access. But incorporating as a town could still give Starbase more direct control over local regulations and infrastructure development. Will we finally get some Tesla superchargers down there? Asking for a friend. SpaceX is making big moves at Starbase, and it's not just about rockets. A newly proposed roundabout at the eastern end of State Highway 4 could be a game changer for traffic flow near Boca Chica Beach. Trust me, I've seen the situation down at the beachhead. It is horrible. With Starbase busier than ever between employees, tourists, and rocket transports, this redesign aims to cut down congestion and keep things moving smoothly. Would Boca Chica still be open for everyone, or could restrictions be put in place? Right now, it's all speculation, but this will be a crucial issue to watch in the coming months. If SpaceX wants to push Starship launches to a higher cadence, the surrounding infrastructure has to keep up. Whether it is moving rocket components, construction materials, or personnel, an improved highway system will be key and, as funny as it sounds, is part of a fast launch cadence. With everything moving at SpaceX's speed, staying in the loop has never been more important. Before we start dreaming of paying parking fines for traffic tickets at Starbase's future town, our channel metrics show over 4 million returning monthly viewers who have not subscribed yet. Help improve the channel and double check that you've hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with our updates. It's free and it helps us bring you even better content. Like this video if you appreciate the content and become a Y supporter for extra content. Secure your access to up to 7 picture galleries per week, satellite, aerial and ground photos, and 3D animations. Chat with us and gain more insights on the topic you love. Do you feel like doing something crazy? Check out redlineheli.com/Felix for a once-in-a-lifetime experience and $25 off flying in a helicopter above Starbase. The Redline helicopter team is waiting for you. They'll show you the same views our photographers get on their Starbase flights. Now let's look at the moon because we can. Firefly Aerospace is gearing up for a major milestone with its Blue Ghost Mission 1, set to deliver a suite of scientific payloads to the moon under NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services initiative. This marks a critical step in the broader Artemis program, supporting future lunar exploration by testing key technologies and gathering essential data. The Blue Ghost lander will target Mare Crisium, a vast lunar basin on the moon's near site where it will deploy 10 NASA payloads designed to study regolith properties, space weather, and thermal conditions on the lunar surface. Alongside NASA's instruments, Firefly is also carrying commercial payloads, highlighting the growing role of private space companies in lunar exploration. It's already giving us some insanely awesome views. Let's look at it because we can. Get it? One of the mission's key objectives is to analyze the moon's surface interactions with spacecraft operations, which will be crucial for future lunar missions. Imagine a Starship landing on the moon. That'll leave a crater if not done right. It also includes looking for potential long-term Artemis base sites. The lander is designed to operate for at least 1 lunar day, about 14 Earth days, conducting experiments and transmitting data back to mission control. That is often the maximum length of a robotic moon mission. Lunar nights are long and very cold. This mission also serves as a proving ground for Firefly's future ambitions. Blue Ghost Mission 2 is already in the works, with plans to deliver payloads to both lunar orbit and the surface using a next-generation transfer vehicle. If all goes as planned, Firefly could become a key player in NASA's ongoing efforts to establish a sustainable human presence on the moon. Yes! They also mentioned on X that they completed their second lunar orbital insertion burn a day later than initially anticipated, but are now orbiting the moon. This is no reason for concern. This burn wasn't very time sensitive. Firefly mission operators simply chose to take a day longer. All eyes are on Mission 1 as Firefly prepares to join the growing list of commercial companies making lunar deliveries. Success here could solidify Firefly's position in the next era of lunar exploration, paving the way for even more ambitious deep space missions in the years ahead. It's been several weeks since Blue Origin's successful New Glenn 1 launch, and citizens of Earth are just now receiving souvenirs from this event. We've also caught the flight pattern of a Blue Origin helicopter heading to the site to inspect the debris. The Bahamas and other Caribbean islands should start collecting. Pieces from the autographed fairing have washed up on shore in the Bahamas and were directly relayed to us by a Y community member. Thank you, Tom and Samantha, you rock! Citizen journalism at its best. If you want to help us research topics or have found a rocket part on a beach by accident, send us an email to contact@whataboutit.net. We are listening. As we've learned from watching so many rocket launch providers over the years and the painstaking efforts they go to understand the root causes of what happens with their test vehicles, it is not surprising that Blue Origin is rushing to retrieve these fairing pieces. While we still don't have any details on the second flight of New Glenn, rest assured that what data Blue Origin can recover from these pieces and the mountains of data the flight provided will be massively beneficial in getting another rocket to orbit and possibly further. Our two community members of course reported this to Blue Origin right after finding the pieces. Well done. Alright, there is a reason why I am wearing this hat today. It was given to me by Andy Lapsai himself, fanboy mode on. Stoke Space has unveiled Andromeda 2, the cutting-edge evolution of its rocket engine platform designed to power Nova, its fully reusable medium-lift launch vehicle and future space transportation systems. The Andromeda engine family consists of multiple configurations, including Andromeda 2, a high-performance Hydrolox engine optimized for full reusability. Andromeda 2 is designed specifically for Nova's second stage and incorporates a unique approach to reusability. Unlike conventional upper stage engines, which are often discarded after a single flight, Andromeda 2 is built for repeated use, aligning with Stoke Space's vision of 100% reusable rockets. The engine leverages liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen to deliver a high specific impulse, making it one of the most efficient upper stage engines in development. It features an active regenerative cooling system, allowing for extended operational life and multiple flights with minimal refurbishment. Additionally, Andromeda 2 is designed to support multiple restarts in space, enabling precise orbital insertions, station keeping, and controlled deorbiting. Nova, Stoke Space's fully reusable rocket, will feature a completely reusable second stage, a major breakthrough in spaceflight economics. Andromeda 2 plays a critical role in this system as it allows the upper stage to survive atmospheric re-entry and return for refurbishment. The second stage heat shield, which Stoke Space has previously demonstrated in hot fire testing, works in tandem with Andromeda 2's Hydrolox thrusters to provide controlled descent and landing. Unlike traditional designs that rely on ablative shielding, this system allows Nova's second stage to return intact and ready for rapid reuse. Regenerative cooling is the magic trick here. The Andromeda engine family is designed for scalability, with potential applications beyond Nova. Stoke Space has hinted at developing larger versions of Andromeda that could support future heavy lift and deep space vehicles. Deep space, I like that. With an emphasis on modular design, these engines could be adapted for in-space propulsion, lunar landers, or interplanetary missions. Stoke Space has rapidly positioned itself as one of the leaders in next-generation rocketry, and Andromeda 2 is a key piece of the puzzle. As Nova moves closer to its first test flight, this new engine will be one of the most closely watched developments in the push for fully reusable launch systems. Nova is still expected to have its maiden flight this year, but it might slip into 2026. Go Stoke Space! RocketLab has launched another dedicated launch for Black Sky with its Fasten Your Space Seatbelts mission. It lifted off on February 19th from Launch Complex 1 on the Mahia Peninsula, New Zealand. It deserves an award for the most scenic launch complex in the world. This mission marks RocketLab's 9th launch for Black Sky, reinforcing its role as the most frequent launch provider for the real-time space-based intelligence company. Black Sky Gen 3 satellites are being deployed into a 470-kilometer circular Earth orbit at a targeted inclination. These next-generation satellites feature 35-centimeter high-resolution imaging capabilities, enhancing Black Sky's ability to deliver rapid, AI-powered geospatial intelligence. Whoa. The satellites are expected to improve automated detection, identification, and classification of various objects, making them highly valuable for both commercial and defense applications. It's basically labeling things on the ground. This is the 60th mission for RocketLab's Electron rocket, standing 18 meters tall and powered by its proprietary Rutherford engines. The two-stage launch vehicle with its kick stage has been a reliable workhorse for RocketLab, specifically in small satellite deployments. Electron uses a RocketLab manufactured motorized light band separation system to deploy Black Sky's payload once in orbit. As RocketLab continues its high-tempo launch cadence, this mission further cements its partnership with Black Sky in advancing real-time satellite imaging and analysis. That's it for today. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe for more. This is what fuels the algorithm, and this is how you can help us for free. Check out our epic shirts in your favorite Space Nerd store. A new Raptor design and our brand new Starship Block 2 design are both up. Link is in the description and in the card you should see now. Also, check out our print store at shop.whataboutit.space to buy a picture for your favorite wall. A significant amount of every purchase goes directly to our photographer. And if you want to learn more about the fascinating story of SpaceX's Raptor 3 engine, watch this video next to continue your journey. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next episode. Over local this is help you do okay. Yes. That's it for today. Nope. Is a